Hi, and welcome to this second introductory video about growth and revival in the Christian church. I am glad that you have chosen to be a part of this class this semester and look forward to our journey together. This video, I wanted to say just a couple of things about some perspective that I bring to the class, as well as to say a couple of things about class policies and plans as we move forward together throughout the semester. One of the things as I think about Christian history, and in this class in particular about the growth of the church and how the church has had such a profound impact throughout its 2,000 years of history, it reminds me a little bit of family reunions from the perspective of we get to learn about some of the people that we are related to from a Christian perspective. I think about my own family reunions growing up on my mother's side of the family in particular. For a period of time when I was in middle school and high school, we got together regularly in the summers, and a lot of the family would get together, sometimes at somebody's house, sometimes at a different location. Those family reunions when you're 13, 14, 15 years old can sometimes be strange affairs because sometimes you are left wondering, how is it exactly that I'm related to these people? Because on my mom's side of the family, there were some unusual characters, I guess we could say. My mom had several cousins who were all mathematicians, and I remember family reunions where they would be sitting down at one end of a dinner table talking about mathematical formulas and working out equations and drawing diagrams and doing all those sorts of things, and I just thought, oh my word, what in the world is up with this family? And we had musicians in the family who, would just sit down spontaneously at the piano and start playing through songs. And I remember one of the songs that they always used to play was Puff the Magic Dragon. And I remember thinking, I wonder if they know what that song is about. And I've never bothered to ask my mom if she knew. Maybe I don't want to know if she knew or not. We had folks like that. I remember having a great uncle who played just a variety of weird instruments, including the saw. And he would get out his little mallets and beat on his saw and bend it to make sounds and sing. And now I think I would look back on that and think, oh, that's pretty fun. But as a 15-year-old, I'm thinking, what in the world, how in the world am I related to these people? And I guess with age comes some perspective. We don't gather anymore, but I look back now and see the value of those times and of realizing, okay, I am related to these people. Not how am I related, or is this a fluke, but I am related to these people, and that's a part of my story, and certainly that's a major part of understanding my parents, is understanding where they come from, because it helps me to understand various things about them. And as I think about this class sort of as family reunion, we'll be doing a lot of reading about individuals. We'll be doing a lot of biography stuff this semester as we think about, from the earliest disciples on through missionary martyrs of the 20th century. And as Christians, I guess I still think to myself that we are all in some way related, sort of in a Hebrews 11 sort of way, this roll call of faith. And the writer of Hebrews is encouraging us to remember about these people that we're connected to, and they go before us and they become this great cloud of witnesses. And I think that continues on through the New Testament church and on through today, that there are folks who we need to know, we need to meet, and we need to realize that they are a part of our family in that sense. And so understanding them and their stories in some way, I think, helps shape us and helps us understand more of who we are and how we got to be where we are. And I think that's really important, and one of the great values of history, and sort of combining history with missions and evangelism and some of those sorts of things this semester, I think makes for a very interesting and exciting class. And so I hope you're ready for a little family reunion, if you will, this semester. No Ancestry.com, no DNA packet is required of you. In Christ, we are connected and we're related to one another, and so we'll meet some long lost family members this semester. Some that I think we can be like, oh, I'm related to them, and then there'll probably be some folks where we're like, I don't know if that was quite the wisest thing, whatever the situation may be, and our eagerness to be related to them might be a little lessened, but nonetheless, we're part of the same family together. As I think about structurally this class, you'll notice, if you've already looked at the syllabus a little bit, you will see that I have broken the class into what I'm calling areas. There are 13 of them throughout the semester, roughly corresponding with weeks during the semester, with a week off at Thanksgiving, and I believe some time off around fall break as well. So we will work that out together. Sundays will be the day on which assignments will be due this semester. So Sundays at 11 p.m. are sort of the deadline. So as you work in this first week, you will see that there is a reading quiz that you'll be responsible for. There is a reflection paper that asks you to reflect in a more personal way on some questions that I've raised. There's a discussion board to post and then to respond to some of your classmates. All of that material is due by 11 p.m. on Sunday. Now, obviously, if you choose to work ahead, bravo. But 11 p.m. is the deadline, and after that, assignments will be considered late and will have a grade reduction of some sort for late work. So encourage you to work ahead, work in advance. You'll also notice this week that I have encouraged you to begin reading The Celtic Way of Evangelism, which you will be writing a review for in Area 2. And so going ahead and reading a little bit of that in advance, I think, will be helpful. It's not a long book. It's a book that I came across a number of years ago and have really enjoyed, have been challenged by the perspective that the author brings as we think about, I guess in his language, is how the West can be won again. And you'll see some of his perspective and some of the very ancient ways that he hopes to reclaim in terms of how we can be living out and sharing our faith in the communities where we are. You will also notice that, sort of in lieu of a major paper for this class, what I'm doing, and I went back and forth with a number of different ideas, but I guess ultimately I wanted something that might prove to be helpful for you in a church context, in a leadership context, where whether officially or unofficially, some of you may find yourself. And so in lieu of a larger paper, I will be asking you to do a couple of smaller papers, mini papers, I think I'm calling them, where they'll be 2 to 3 pages in length, and you'll have 2 historical characters that you'll be looking at. And I'll ask you to do some research about their lives and why they're important and influential, but also to come up with some discussion questions about them, so that if you were talking about them in a small group atmosphere, you could not only have information to present, but then questions to ask about their life or their teachings or their importance, and then to have a short PowerPoint presentation that corresponds with that information. And then we'll share all those as a group this semester, and everybody will have a couple of different people, so that if all 10 of you stay with me throughout the semester, then at the end you've got sort of a short list of 20 people with information that's been researched and gathered for you and PowerPoints that you can use that maybe would be helpful, because I think it's really important. And one of the things that I try to do whenever I have an opportunity is to bring some of these folks to the limelight. I know Sunday morning is not typically a time where that happens, but if there's time on a Wednesday night study or a Sunday Bible study where maybe you need a break from the literature that your church might use, and you wanted to do something different, sometimes there's opportunity to do that and to help people realize the connections that exist within Christianity and the importance of history and how we're related and who these giants of the faith are who have come before us. I think is pretty significant. And so that's what that paper is about, just so you'll sort of have a heads up, and I'll certainly give you more information as that gets closer. So anyway, that's, I guess, what I have to share for right now. I hope this first week is getting off to a good start for you. If you have questions along the way, please know that you can contact me via email, and my phone number as well are both on the syllabus. And certainly along the ways this semester, I'm in an online class, don't know that there's opportunities for us to get together, but if you are, certainly if you're in Cleveland County or one of the corresponding counties, and there's a time that you have free and we can work out a time to meet and have lunch together and get to know each other face to face a little bit more, something along those lines. Usually I'm relatively free in the evenings as well. So depending on your work schedule and family schedule and responsibilities and all those sorts of things, I would be glad to meet up if that would be helpful for you. I would enjoy doing that if that was a possibility or an opportunity. So feel free to let me know those things. Let me know if you have questions about assignments. If you get to something and it's supposed to be there and it's not there, I'm trying to go back and review and make sure that everything's in place the way that it should be. But if I overlook something and you get to something, it's like, whoa, this isn't there. Please don't hesitate to contact me. Yes, very human and make mistakes, and I'm trying not to in this class, but I'm sure some things will happen that will escape my attention, and want to have those corrected as quickly as possible so that you can have the best semester as possible. So look forward to our time together. I'll be coming at you with some other information related to the information for this first week, and providing some background information and stories and those sorts of things. So look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.